Thanks for tuning in to this special report from the Common Sense Skeptic, taking an unintended break in our regular production schedule to respond to a particular tweet from Elon Musk. Recently, Tesla bulls have been calling for a new compensation package for Musk at Tesla, and in response to those tweets earlier today, on January 15th, Musk wrote this tweet. I am uncomfortable growing Tesla to be a leader in AI and robotics without having around 25% voting control. Enough to be influential, but not so much that I can't be overturned. Unless that is the case, I would prefer to build products outside of Tesla. You don't seem to understand that Tesla is not one startup, but a dozen. Simply look at the delta between what Tesla does and GM. As for stock ownership itself being enough motivation, Fidelity and other own similar stakes to me. Why don't they show up for work? There is a lot of information to tear out of this 500-character tweet. First, it perfectly demonstrates what a raging power-hungry narcissist Musk is, always needing to have control, which he no longer has at Tesla. As of today, Musk holds just shy of 13% in the company. This is down from the 22% Musk used to flaunt in 2021, a year prior to his forced purchase of Twitter, and even then, Musk was already selling off a $15 billion stake in the company. Musk says he wants another 12% more voting control in the company without paying the $83.5 billion for those shares to make up the difference that would entitle him to that power. So he would be demanding power he is not entitled to from a board of a publicly traded company, or else he says he'll take the robotics and AI development out of Tesla and start up another company in competition with what Tesla has long claimed to be. The sheer hubris suffered by this delusional idiot to suggest such a thing in a tweet, likely written from the toilet, is beyond belief. Over the years, we have all seen how Musk, for whatever reason, has downplayed the automotive component of Tesla, despite cars obviously being the core business of the company, insisting that it is instead a technology company, then more specifically, a robotics and AI company. He is on record as saying that without a successful deployment of FSD, requiring what he calls real-world AI, Tesla would pretty much be worthless. As the CEO of Tesla, his only job should be to promote and support that company in all of its current endeavors. For years now, Musk has used and abused the resources of that publicly traded company, Tesla, to develop those robotic and AI technologies to their current state, whatever they might be. He has allocated company staff, resources, and finances to those goals, but Musk now seems to think he can extract that technology for himself into yet another venture at his whim, again despite not having controlling interest in the company. This tweet should absolutely be grounds for dismissal for the self-appointed techno-king of Tesla. He's threatening a company to which he has a fiduciary duty to protect with blackmail. You'll give me what I want, or I'm taking all the toys shareholders paid for to start up another company that I can control. He's obviously not looking out for the best interest of his only publicly traded company, nor his own shareholders. And why would Musk be after 25% control anyway? Because votes at Tesla historically require supermajority approval to pass. And when Musk held 22% of the company, that enabled him to override any shareholder vote on the ballot. That included several attempts to remove him and/or his feckless brother from the board, owing to Kimball's inability to perform any significant function, as was proven quite well in the Solar City case transcripts. The younger Musk has been kept around to support the elder, who now, because of his Twitter purchase, no longer has that lockdown ability on votes. As an aside, because Musk included this, look at the third sentence of the second paragraph comparing Tesla to GM. Apparently, Musk is unaware that General Motors also has a robotics division, and an agreement in place with NASA to develop their Robonaut 2 for use in space on the ISS, signed in September of last year. His third paragraph shows that Musk really does not understand the relationship between the company and shareholders or his role as chief executive officer, or whatever he's calling himself these days. Shareholders don't need to show up for work at the company that they bought shares in, especially when they hold less than 1% share in the company, as the aforementioned Fidelity does. In fact, Fidelity doesn't crack the top 5 institutional holders, so they do not, as Musk falsely stated here, have similar holdings to him. Musk is wondering why these companies don't show up for work like he does. Well, Musk, they don't have to. They paid for their shares. Whereas after you bought the chair at Tesla with your initial Series A investment, without knowing what a board chair actually does, then drummed out the legitimate founders and CEO because you're a jealous bastard, not knowing what a CEO does. You grew your stake in the company at the expense of the company through tranches of options that were opened up when the company reached certain unanchored market capitalization milestones. Of particular note would be the false Hertz story, released just before Tesla stock hit its all-time high and market cap shot over $1 trillion for a very short period of time in November of 2021. Right around the same time, every insider at Tesla dumped their shares off, including Kimball Musk, who now holds a pittance worth of Tesla shares. Not surprisingly, in the past 12 months, absolutely nobody considered to be a Tesla insider has bought any shares back at half the value they sold at. Over the course of Musk's prior self-authored compensation plan, Elon Musk removed $56 billion from Tesla through the issuance of his options, which he bought at around $23 apiece, before the two recent stock splits at 5-to-1 and 3-to-1. So compared to share price today, prior to August 31st of 2020, Musk paid about $1.53 per Tesla share in respect to the total current 15-to-1 dilution. The compensation plan was so outrageous that Musk has been sued for it in 2022, and apparently that decision still has to be rendered. Now, in comparison, Tesla in the 5 most recent reported periods made less than $17 billion, having scraped their first profit together in 2020, and it's unlikely the 2023 numbers will match 2022, considering they had a huge miss in Q3 2023, and they've had to cut prices even further in Q4 2023. So Musk took more than 3 times the amount of profit Tesla made out of the company for his own pocket between 2018 and 2022. And now, he says, he'd like another compensation package? When broken down, this tweet is absolutely insane, and if the Securities and Exchange Commission doesn't rip Musk with a warning or a huge fine for this, considering their enforcement against Musk's tweet affecting Tesla shares is not only still intact, it has been reaffirmed after appeal, then they are definitely asleep at the wheel here. Regardless, stockholders need to be made aware that Musk is obviously not looking out for the company. Musk is looking out for himself, because he's a raging power-hungry narcissist, as he has always been. And a compensation package like this would be declaring war on the Tesla shareholder. Paraphrasing this tweet, your shares should have no voting rights because you don't provide any service to the company. Only he, as the self-appointed techno-king, should have any say. And to that we say, it is time to depose the king. We're going to sign off by saying this. Musk has not actually made this proposal to the board, so far as we know. However, this tweet gives a lot of insight into how Musk is thinking about and likely acting towards the company that is responsible for the vast majority of his paper wealth. This tweet in response was voluntary and unsolicited, so obviously this is where his brain is at, where Tesla is concerned. And that needs to be concerning to everyone involved. On that note, we are going to get back to production on the series we are hoping to release this weekend. Have a great week, and watch out for when the Common Sense Skeptic returns.